Hey guys, what's up? It's Marcus from Octane Sound. Gonna do a little video to show you how to set up your Tascam DM-3200 to be recognized by FL Studio. This will work with Sonar as well and Adobe Audition. I'm going to show you the FL Studio because it's got an easy interface, and you'll be able to sort of understand a little easier without going through a bunch of advanced settings and other DAWs that you might be trying to set this up on. And I am pretty confident that if you can get this working with FL Studio, that most of the MIDI control, master control, will be the same in other DAWs. So one quick note is this was designed, the Tascam DM-3200 was designed to work in full concert with Cubase 2.0, I believe, up to 2.3 or 2.4. I'd have to check the manual on that. It's also got control codes inside the machine right out of the box without any firmware update to support Steinberg and Logic Pro. I'm not sure what versions. So let's get to it. I'm going to swip the camera around here. Okay, so on the machine itself, you're going to press Alt and Remote, and that's going to bring you to the control section, which you will see here: MC Setup, Machine Control, External Control, and then another control option here. All right, so when you go to this initially, there's not going to be much set up. So I'm going to walk you through this. You're going to want to set up under Machine Control Setup, which is after you hit the Alt and Remote button, you have these keys here. These are going to be what navigates you to the different sections. All right. So under Machine Control Setup, you're going to turn the edit frames on and queuing mode on. Play mode automatic. I actually don't think that matters much. I put the master machine control command type true for play, true for record function, and search for the jog wheel. Now that's not going to affect anything. We can't actually set up the transport controls for some reason yet. So that's what you need on the machine control setup. Now you go to the machine control list, and you have a bunch of options over here. Now to access those options, you're going to use the jog wheel, which is right to my right hand here. See if I can get that in the, nope. So it's right here, and you will scroll to, honestly, it really doesn't matter too much. If you select one of these, Sonar, Logic, or Steinberg, I haven't actually tried Digital Performer yet. You select one of those, and what will happen is, let's see, so you can use these buttons to navigate around. So if you select this, you go to delete. Let's see here. There we go. So jog wheel is selecting on that side, and if you go, you're not going to have any of these populated initially. So we've got MMC open and MC Steinberg, machine control Steinberg. So all you're going to do is, see, I just deleted them. So now we're going to go back to MMC open and MC Steinberg. All right, and we're going to go back over here, and we're going to select Chase And that should do it, hopefully. All right. So now, over here, we've got an under external control. We don't even really need the mixer. We don't need user defined, and MIDI defaders. We don't need that. So all you really need is the machine control for Steinberg, or you can do Logic or Sonar. Like I said, those don't seem to make a difference. Then we go to the control button here, and then we select, and now we are actually displaying the control settings. All right.
Okay, having a little bit of trouble with the OBS today. So once you get your hardware set up, you're going to go into your DAW. In this case, we're using FL20 and MIDI settings. Under the output section in FL Studio, you're going to select MIDI out 5 and scroll the port up to 102, and you'll go to MIDI out 6 and scroll the port to 103. On the input section, you'll go to MIDI out or MIDI in 5 and select enable. Control type is going to be Mackie Control Universal. You'll again select port 102, and for MIDI in 6 you will enable it, select MIDI or Mackie Control, and then scroll to port 103. You can also select auto accept down here and foot pedal control notes off, and then you can close the MIDI window. Now what you're going to have to do with your hardware is map it out with multi-link. In this one I have already mapped out most of my channels, but I have not done the master channel, so I'm going to click on multi-link, grab the fader with the mouse, and then physically touch the master fader that I'm assigning it to. And now we have automation control. So you can assign up to 48 using the layer status buttons 1 through 16, 17 through 32, and buses 1 through 16.
Now, and it's going to be displayed on the screen, and everything should be working as it should. So I'm using the faders here. So all that's working now. The like I said, the meter bridge and transport controls are not working. I'm using the USB 2.0 connection. There's no FireWire card in here, so it's not even really optimized for tracking. But since this is a hybrid console, I can set it up to track to something like a ADAT machine or a DAT machine. So that's one of the cool features here. Looking at the console itself and the layers, so you have multiple layers here. You have channels 1 through 16, channels 17 through 32, channels 33 through 48. Now this does not actually work. So for some reason there is a stereo pair here, and I'm not sure if that has something to do with the Steinberg protocol. This one, buses 1 through 16, I use as 33 through 48. So I just swap those out. This does the same thing with the stereo pairs. So I'm not real sure. There's a couple stereo pairs, and then there's a couple that aren't. The remote section is the fully automated section where you can then adjust some panning or something here. And you'll see that the panning is actually working with the encoders. And that is fantastic. So you can read and write your automations right there with the remote section. You've got 1 through 8. Now these are linked: 1 and 9, 2 and 10, 3 and 11, and so on. So if you need to automate more, then the thing to do would just be to assign them in groups of 8. So set up your console and your DAW however you need to optimize a workflow so that you can automate one set at a time of 8 tracks. So it's pretty straightforward. Other controls that affect Fruity Loops is the jog wheel, and also in the piano roll you can do some stuff like if you use the, what is it? Now you can use the cursor, you can use, where is it? There was a button somewhere that did something cool. I can't seem to find it. There's a few functions, and they all are actually listed right there. So for whatever I'm missing, you can always, once you have it set up, you can check that out in the display on the actual unit itself. Other thing is that this the bank channels right here, F1 and F2 is a banking. So, and then you have nudging too. So there's your nudging. And that's about all, really. That's enough to get you going on the unit.